I'm not gonna be able to get a deadly shot before he does the attack. This is fine. Like, this is still... He's still lasting a good while. We still get a good bit of the fight. Just imagine how much health he would have on normal, though. Like, imagine that. Like, I don't feel like I'm fine with this victory. When I win, I'm fine with this. I'm not gonna feel, like, dissatisfied that I didn't do normal mode at all. There we go. Again, not the worst fight in the world. But for a fight that's supposed to be the final fight and supposed to be a climatic moment, pretty underwhelming. Not in the, like, too easy way, but underwhelming in that it's like...
Your strength. Undoubtedly, you are capable of creating a new world. However, the true battle still awaits you. Creation is a war without enemy or end.
Yeah, bosses have the same HP on difficulties. I meant damage output. Theoretically, Merciful, he has less because you do higher damage. That's what I meant. I said the wrong words, but I meant you do more damage. So it feels like... It feels like he is less because you're doing more damage. I just said it the wrong way, but it basically means the same thing. Oh, am I a human again? I'm a human. Yo, what if I go to the beach? That'd be neat. Oh, hey, Chiaka.
Well done. I see you've created the world of Yosuga. It's a kingdom of strength and beauty, designed for those who attain the height of power. I always thought that I'd be the one to bring about the new world, but I guess my duty was to find you to do it instead. I'd say I accomplished that quite nicely. Now, I deserve a nice, long rest. Don't you think? Go forward. Our kingdom is just beyond the horizon. Within its walls, you'll find eternal bliss. A bliss that is rightfully yours. Thanks for everything. And say hi to the world I dreamed of.
If only I cared about the characters in this game. Hey, there are the credits. Alright, well, I'm gonna start by saying this. I can't really judge the ending because there are 6 endings total. So, I can't really say much on the ending. However, I am kind of, like, wondering, like, Isamu wanted to create a world where, like, everyone was in their own separate world. And I wanted to create a world where Yosuga wanted to create a world that was like for only the strong and the weak don't deserve to live. But it looked like in that ending that I was the only one in the world. It looked like I was the only one alive. Like, doesn't that kind of mean that, like, what would be the difference of Yosuga and Masubi at that rate? It really makes me want to see the other endings. Like, I'm curious. I'm very curious. So, yeah, can't really talk about the ending for 2 reasons. One, it was really short. And 2, there are 5 other endings. So I have to find out what the other ones do. I can't wait to see the other endings, though. Alright, we've done it. We finished Nocturne. I have a lot to say. And I'm going to... You're all going to sound very shocked. But yeah, Nocturne. Very good game. Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. Really good game. I have some complaints, but I think most of my complaints wouldn't be fixed in other SMT games. So I feel like most of my complaints would just be in other SMT games, meaning like they wouldn't be fixed. But we're going to talk about everything that's wrong, that's good about Nocturne and bad about Nocturne. So do this how I normally do. I think I just do the music first because music is really easy to cover. Top notch. Can't think of a single track in this game I dislike. I love Nocturne's soundtrack a lot. It's really, really good. This ending theme is really, really good. Further proving. Persona does great music, and this is the same composer, so it's great, great music. I love it. What else? Graphics, good. Graphics look fine. This was a PS2 game. I mean, the models look pretty good. The models themselves look good. I don't know, I kind of got used to it. I still remember when I first played the game, the mouths looked really weird, and I related to Symphonia. But like, they grew on me. Raptor said that they would probably they grew on him, and yeah, they did grow on me. Like, at first the faces looked weird, but the character models looked fine. But now they kind of grew on me. Like, I can still see it, but like, it doesn't bother me as much as it did in like the first 2 hours. So yeah, graphics look really good though for a PS2 game. This was like a 2002, 2003. Raptor can probably correct me on that. But this is an early PS2 game. Looks pretty good still. Voice acting was pretty good. I did like the voice actors, and I heard the game wasn't voiced before, so they did really well transitioning this game to voice acting. So yeah, there's that. I was honestly expecting another fight, but good playthrough for the ending. For this ending. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I definitely would have hated it if the disco ball was the only phase. I don't know. I could see where you're coming from, Shinku, but that was a fine final boss. Maybe I'm just saying that because I'm a little salty. But, you know. But yeah, music great. Graphics look good. There's not really much, like, bad in the graphics. Like, honestly, graphics, like, it's a PS2 game. It looks good. Can't really say much more than that. But I never really care about graphics. I talk about graphics regardless. I don't really look for graphics in games. So, yeah. Gameplay is next. I love, what's it called? The press turn order? I don't know if that's what it's called. I love the system in this game. The gameplay is fun. It does have some annoyances, though. But I think most of the annoyances come from, like, SMT territory. First, the good. We'll talk about the good. I like the fact how you get a crit, and you just get to, like, get an extra turn if you get a crit. Or if you dodge, they lose turns, but you also lose turns. It's a very, like, double-edged sword. So, I do like what they did with the system. The battle system was interesting. Like, it was classic turn-based, but they added a little twist on it. Very similar to One More's in Persona, but a little different. Like, when you dodge, they lose turns. If they dodge, you lose turns. You really had to think about weaknesses and all. So, it really just forced you to think about weaknesses and what moves to use. Also, meshing with gameplay, the level up system is really, really good. I love the way you, like, the Magatama was a neat system, choosing, like, different resistances and weaknesses for certain bosses. It was very situational. And, basically making the Demi-Fiend however you want. You could build the Demi-Fiend however you want, and that was really cool to do. It is called the press turn system. Thank you, Raptor. But yeah, leveling up was good. Magatama's was good. The only things with the gameplay I didn't like, some of the bosses were annoying. I think mostly, like, any boss with, like, early game insta-kills were very annoying. Getting insta-killed in the beginning of the game was, pretty lame, and it can cause you a game over. I said this with Persona. I'll say it with Shin Megami Tensei 2. The main character dying is very stupid. Is there gonna be another cutscene, or is that it? Oh, no, that's it. Let's read what this says first. Save endgame data. The Demon Compendium will carry over when you restart with this file. Yeah. Sure. Let's save this over a different slot. Okay. New cycle. Oh, does this force me to an NG+? That's cool. Oh, I finally know what the diamonds mean. These are for the different endings. I got Chiaka's. That's really cool. I like that. It's such a small thing, but I like how they like calculate the diamonds. That's cool. I will definitely NG plus this game. I want to see those other 6 endings. Very, very neat. But yeah, what was I saying? I hate on Persona that mechanic. However, Shin Megami Tensei gets a little bit of a pass because it wouldn't make sense if your main character dies, your demons, like, I don't know. It kind of makes sense. It's still very annoying when it happens though. Plus your demons can't use items or anything like that. So yeah, your demons can't use items. That brings me to another gripe. The fact that, like, only your demon can use items and only your demon can summon in and out. I mean, the summoning makes sense, but the fact that only your demon can use items got annoying. It makes sense, I guess, but it was very annoying how you had to, like if a demon died, they leave the party, and you have to bring them in, use an item. It's just a lot of work. You kind of had to, like, stall for, like, a bit. Not a huge deal. It got better. It definitely got better later in the game, but I remember in the beginning and mid-game, I hated it. But it definitely got better. But yeah, I would say my opinion of the game goes like this. Playing the game for like what? The first 5 hours, really good game. It got very annoying during the Matador part, mostly because Matador was an annoying fight, especially for the part he was placed. But yeah. What was I saying? But yeah, Matador, where they placed him was awful. But it would have been a better fight if it was placed later. The fact that they made him mandatory. Also, another complaint, starting the Labyrinth of Amala, you know, and being stuck fighting White Rider. I remember fighting White Rider. Like, I couldn't really avoid White Rider, and that was very annoying. And I know you might say, oh, the Amala Labyrinth's optional, you could just skip it. That is true. You could just skip the Amala Labyrinth, but they shouldn't force a boss after you do the Amala Labyrinth. Like, I think Atlas just think it makes the game difficult. I don't think it does, though. It just makes it tedious. Like, being forced to fight a boss, stopping you from going on with the main story is stupid. That should not be how that works. But yeah, again, that's like a minor thing, because the Amala Labyrinth is optional. But, you know. But yeah, good stuff there. So the game went from, like, being good to being annoying. I would say, like, Matador part was very boring, and I hated it. Then it was good again until you got to the obelisk, and the Magus Sister dungeon was annoying. The Magus Sisters themselves, that puzzle was stupid. I hated it. Then it went back to being fun, I would say. But yeah, first half of the game, okay. Second half of the game, really, really good. I loved the second half of the game. The first half of the game really didn't have much plot, which brings me to a complaint, the plot and characters. But, first half of the game, okay. Great for dude, I doing reviews like this is so hard because I have to improvise, but first half of the game really, it was okay. Like, you know, starting out playing with the demons, it's fun stuff, but then you find a few, like, getting used to SMT and just like insta kills and stuff and petrification to get you game over. When you don't have much Magatamas and all that, it's very annoying. Plus, the plot wasn't really doing it for me. There was, like, basically no plot. It was like, hey, you're a demi-fiend, you go to this place, they tell you to go somewhere else, move on. Go to this place, do this, yada yada, etc., till Obelisk. But then once Obelisk hit and you start learning about reasons, that's where it got interesting. Seeing, like, each character, like, have, like, a certain reason and a certain ideal world they wanted to make, that was really cool. I liked what they did with that. And, the fact that, I didn't know this until later in the game, but the fact that, like, your choices affect the ending, like when Chiaka or Isamu ask you questions about their reason, that affects the ending, that's really cool. That's a great way to do the endings, honestly. So, yeah. I am kind of curious, though. There are 6 endings in the game. Chiaka, Isamu, and Yuko probably all have an ending. And Hikawa. What would the other 2 endings be? That's my curiosity. One is probably for clearing the Labyrinth of Amala. I would assume, I have been told that, I think Raptor told me you get an ending from the Labyrinth of Amala. I think that's the new thing they added for the remaster. But, yeah, I could be mistaken. But what would the last ending be? But anyway, not the point. Yeah, second half of the game really picked up the game for me. I was actually, like, during the Obelisk part, I was like, dude, SMT might not be for me. The second half of the game surprised me, honestly. I didn't expect the second half of the game to be good. Like, it really picked up the game. But, I didn't expect it to like pick up the game that much. I was like, yeah, the reason stuff is cool, but I don't expect the game to like pick up in story, and it did. It really did. I'm shocked the second half of the game like picked up for me, because like I was honestly like during the first part, I was kind of, part of me was thinking of quitting, but I wasn't going to quit obviously, but I was thinking of it. But I'm glad the second part of the game picked up. My one complaint with the story is the characters. I get what the game was going for. They were going for like the characters being like not really like development, like no development. This game isn't really known for character development. It's not known for plot and characters. I understand that. But it's for me personally, I just like plot and characters in games. So this might be a me thing where the characters like didn't until later in the game, but like even in the later of the game, the characters never really did it for me. Like I couldn't really be attached to them. I couldn't really understand their actions. It was just like, I don't know. But I did like the plot. The plot was good, you know, the conception happening. You and your friends before the conception happens, you turn to a demon, and then you're all like torn apart and you all have your own reasons. You're all trying to like not necessarily fight each other, but I guess race to get the Magatsuki or whatever to try and get your reason. So it is interesting. I just wish the characters were more like relatable or whatever. Or I wish I could connect with the characters. It would have been better. But they didn't really do much with the characters. I think they were going for like a symbolic approach where every character represents a certain like philosophy term or something, like symbolic. I don't know. They were probably going for something like that, especially with the reasons. I wouldn't be surprised. But for me personally, I like plot and characters, like development and stuff, banter, like stuff like that. And I didn't really get that with this game, but you know, it didn't make me hate the game. It just made me think it was like good. I'm just lucky everything else was good in the game, because like the story and the characters were the one thing that weren't that great, but everything else was pretty solid. It was a great time. Also, I see some stuff in chat. Demons have no reason to listen to you if you're dead. I'm fine with the main character dying being a game over. If you're serving someone against your will, would you still be there if they died? Okay, first of all, Raptor, I was saying SMT gets excused. I was saying it gets a pass in the main character game over death. However, it's still really annoying when you get really early game overs for dumb reasons. Persona literally, like, has no excuse. Because there are, like, other Phantom Thieves that can get you up. Or, like, Investigation Team. Same difference. Like, whatever Persona game you say, it's dumb in a Persona game. It makes sense in the Shin Megami Tensei game. You didn't really catch that little bit I was saying, apparently. But yeah, I don't mind it as much. It's annoying, don't get me wrong. But it really only is annoying in the beginning game. It gets better later. The whole death thing in Shin Megami Tensei 3, it gets better like midway through. It's really only annoying for the beginning. I never really died too much without knowing why. Second thing that was said, I did tell you not to complete the labyrinth. I said completing a Kalpa unlock this next set of bosses. Well, yep. Okay, well, Raptor, that Kalpa, that labyrinth Kalpa thing, like, honestly, you can tell me whatever you want. That doesn't excuse it. The game shouldn't do that. But yeah. The Kalpa thing, legendary Kalpa, yeah, you told me. Okay, that doesn't excuse the game. The game shouldn't have that in the first place. Look, I'm fine with the bosses being a thing, but there should either be a better way to escape them, or B, don't put them like literally in the middle of a town every time you use a terminal. White Rider, I'm looking straight at you. So, you know, again, that's a minor complaint because it's optional, but still, what if you want to be a completionist and you just don't want to fight them and move on with the story or take a break or grind or do something, basically. It just makes it annoying. Yuko has 2 endings attached to her. The 6th ending is for completing the Amala. Okay, so Chiyaka has an ending. Isamu has an ending. Hikawa has an ending. Yuko has 2, apparently. They're probably very similar. I don't really know what the difference would be. And then there's the Amala Labyrinth ending. Alright. Oh, you sent the death message thing right before you said that. Darn you, Twitch delay. I guess Twitch just has a delay for the chat. Alright. Alright, you win. I mean, yeah. At least we agree on that. Nice. But yeah. Glad that's all settled. But anyway, I don't know what else I have to say, honestly. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's more stuff I want to say. It's clear that Shin Megami Tensei had a big focus on gameplay. Honestly, I thought the some of the puzzles were neat. There were some annoying dungeons, but the puzzles, like the innovation was neat. it was definitely refreshing because coming off of Scarlet Nexus, I did Scarlet Nexus right before I finished Scarlet Nexus, then came to Nocturne. Scarlet Nexus had like no dungeon design, no puzzles. They had really simplistic stuff, which I don't even call puzzles. So it was really refreshing to go to Nocturne and like experience like gimmicks and dungeons, even if some of them kind of pissed me off a bit. It was really refreshing to see gimmicks again. It just reminds me that new games don't do gimmicks anymore. So that was really neat. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. But yeah, honestly, just good game. Good game. I think I'm done. I think that's it. I don't really have anything else to say because, like, talked about the story. The first half was okay. The second half picked up for me. Characters could have used work. Or just the characters weren't for me. Like, they weren't for my liking, which isn't a bad thing. It's not the game's fault. Gameplay, honestly, fun with a few gripes. And, music was phenomenal. Graphics look great. I think that's it. But yeah, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. If I were to give it a review, I don't normally do reviews, but I'm doing this for Raptor. I would give Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne a... I'll be a 6 or a 7 out of 10. I think it's fair. A 6 or 7 out of 10 would be fair. I would probably give it a 7. Or I would give it like a 6. No, probably a 7. A 6 is kind of harsh. I did enjoy this game. Like, I had some raging moments and all that. But, you know, I think that comes with the territory. Like, I raged a bit. Sometimes it was funny. Sometimes it wasn't. So, I enjoyed the game. So, yeah, I honestly don't have much else to say. Like, I just think, like, yeah, Nocturne was good. And, I look forward to playing other SMT games. I'm not going deep into SMT. The only SMT games I'm playing are... I'm playing SMT 5 day of release, definitely. This confirms that I'm playing SMT 5 day of release. I am going to play that overclock game that Raptor likes, because I did promise him, and it's only fair that I play his favorite game. And I might touch Shin Megami Tensei 4. But, yeah. Yeah, I might mess with, Shin Megami Tensei 4. Like, I'm thinking about it. Like, mostly because I'm playing 5, I'm like, dude, I'm playing 3 and 5. I gotta play 4. Plus, someone asked me in the comments one day. Someone asked me in the comments one day, like, yo, are you gonna mess with Shin Megami Tensei 4? And I'm like, possibly. By the way, I'm not promising Shin Megami Tensei 4. I am promising Overclocked. But I'm not promising 4. But 4 is pretty... I don't know, it depends on how I feel about 5, I guess. But 4 is pretty high on my priority list. If I were to play SMT games, I would definitely play Shin Megami Tensei 5, Shin Megami Tensei 4, and the Devil Survivor Overclock, whatever it's called. So yeah. What are you talking about? I found the rage hilarious? Yeah, the rage was hilarious. You're right, honestly. The fact that I'm admitting it means it's hilarious. Like, there were times where I got annoyed, but honestly, you know, sometimes rage could be funny. I like it. 9 out of 10 for the rage. I'm glad you all enjoyed. I'm glad people enjoyed seeing me play this game because I raged so much. But yeah. Dude, I totally want to NG plus this game. Like, I'm gonna say this. There's a chance I'll do this again for the channel. I might NG plus this game. I'm gonna do some NG plusing off screen for sure because I gotta play SMT 5. But there's a chance I could do a Nocturne NG plus for the channel. Like, after I play through it off screen a bit. But I definitely want to do that, and I definitely want to, like, maybe I'll even mess with the Amala Labyrinth by then. We'll see. But yeah, that's gonna be all. Those of you watching YouTube, I hope you all enjoyed this playthrough. I did enjoy this playthrough. I hope you all enjoyed seeing me rage playing SMT. And there will be more SMT, more specifically November 12th, I think, is when Nocturne comes out. I could be wrong about that. November 12th, something like that. Either way, mid-November is when not Nocturne. I'm playing Nocturne right now. But yeah, 5 comes out in 2 months, basically. Let's just say 2 months, SMT 5 comes out, so I'll be doing that day of release. And look forward to, as I said, Devil Survivor Overclocked and SMT 4 sometime in the future after that. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up Nocturne. I don't plan to do the Amala Labyrinth. I don't plan to do anything I missed. I don't plan to get the other 2 Magatamas. I think this is just gonna be the end. We did more than I thought. I expected to try out the side quest. I didn't expect to do all the side quests. We didn't do every single one, technically speaking. I know we didn't do Ongyo-ki, but we beat him in spirit. I don't have proof, but we beat him in spirit. Like, I could have went back and trashed him. I just didn't feel like it. Call it laziness. But we did more than I thought, so I'm satisfied with this playthrough. And this took, like, what, like 40 hours? 40 plus hours? So, yeah, definitely a longer game. Heavily focused on story, so yeah, definitely long. It probably could have taken, it would have taken longer if I did the Amala Labyrinth. But yeah, I'm done rambling, I think. It is November 12th. Thank you, Raptor. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the playthrough. So yeah, look forward to other SMT stuff coming shortly, specifically 5. Before that, I'm going to be messing with Cold Steel 2 tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Cold Steel 2. We're starting around 12 EST. Or 1 EST. I'll tweet about it. 12 or 1 EST is the target. I'm not streaming on Sunday or Monday. And again, I really don't know what's happening on Tuesday. I have to think of something. I don't know. There's a chance I'll play Cold Steel 2 on Tuesday and then start something on Wednesday. Or I'll just, I don't know, dude. I have no idea if I want to start something before Arise comes out. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I really enjoyed Nocturne, so I hope you all enjoyed this. I got a lot of views for this playthrough, like, compared to, like, other stuff I've been doing, so I'm very pleased that you all enjoyed it, and, I really have to thank my boy Raptor for, like, walking me through the game, because I think I would have had a miserable time without him, so, not to get all like that, but, like, yeah. I hate to thank Raptor like this, but, you know, I truly have to, because, like, I think I would have hated the game by now. I wouldn't have finished it. And it definitely was great going through it. So yeah, I look forward to SMT 5 in November. So yeah, thank you all for watching so much, and I will see you all next time.